We get it. Podcasting is your passion, but even your passion can get a little expensive after a while. So wouldn't it be great if you could get paid for what you love doing? Yes, it is possible to make money off of your podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to go through 5 different ways you can start monetizing your content today. Also, make sure to stick around to the end as we'll share with you the number 1 mistake that podcasters make when trying to monetize their podcast. Hey, this is Yvonne from Spreaker. Have you ever wanted to transform your podcasting passion into a full-time gig? Well, it's entirely possible. And today we're going to show you how you can do that. But before we do, if you find this video helpful, smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to the Spreaker YouTube channel. So, when should you start considering monetizing your podcast? Well, there's no time like the present. However, remember, to make money off of your podcast, you need to be strategic. Yes, you need to talk about your passion, but you also should have a clear plan or solid understanding of what you need to do to make sure that your show will generate a revenue stream. It is also important to understand that making money off of your podcast can take time. Just because you turn on programmatic advertising doesn't mean you'll make thousands of dollars in the first month. Well, unless you have thousands of devoted listeners that are itching to download your latest episode. As the old saying goes, all great things take time. So be patient with yourself in this process. Start monetizing now, but develop a long-term business plan. It will be hard and you will have to hustle, but if you stick with it in a smart and authentic way, then you'll eventually get there. Now, let's get to that good stuff. How do podcasts make money? Let's get those monetization ideas flowing and look at 5 ways you can make money with your podcast today, starting with programmatic advertising. Using the most simple explanation, programmatic advertising refers to the marketplace where the automatic buying and selling of podcast advertisements occur. Programmatic involves an electronic auction where there are requests for bids and bid offers, just like a traditional auction, but without the person in the suit shouting out prices at the speed of light. Programmatic advertising allows you, the podcasters, to take the guesswork out of making money from your podcast. For example, with Spreaker, instead of seeking your own sponsors and advertisers, you can use our built-in programmatic marketplace, which is full of advertisers who are ready and willing to automatically deliver targeted and relevant ads on your podcast. It is as simple as enabling monetization in your Spreaker dashboard. Don't be afraid of programmatic advertising. These days, ads are normal. Listeners expect to hear them, so don't worry about losing or annoying your listeners. As long as you're not bombarding them with ads every 5 minutes, then the only impact you should see from these ads is an increase in your bank account. Along with programmatic advertising, you might want to also consider sponsorship. A podcast sponsor or advertiser pays you to promote their goods or services on one or more of your podcast episodes. Now, there are 2 ways you can go about searching for a podcast sponsor. The first way is that you can choose to do it yourself. This means that you would have to find potential businesses and pitch them your podcast. After you've narrowed down some potential podcast sponsors, send them an email introducing yourself and your podcast. You need to prove your value to your potential sponsors. This is where key statistics will come in handy. Anything with numbers will seem more trustworthy than saying, I have a loyal audience. It is also important to try to make your email as personal as possible. You need to establish a real relationship, emphasize genuine interest in their company, and not look like you're just trying to make money with your podcast. Say what interests you about them, what values you have in common, and how you think a relationship between the 2 of you would look like. If you can, make sure to include a podcast media kit. If you don't want to find your own sponsors, then you can use podcast marketplaces. Networks and marketplaces exist for podcasters to find sponsors. Yes, you have to compete directly with other podcasters, but it is as easy as uploading information about your show and waiting for someone to connect to you. Although you don't need a large audience to start looking for podcast sponsors, if you are looking to work with marketplaces, then there's usually a minimum number of monthly downloads required. This is due to the fact that it takes a lot of time and effort for a human sales team to sell a show for direct sponsorship, and this usually can only be justified by buys over a certain amount of downloads per month. Finally, no matter what marketplace you choose, always be mindful that there will be a revenue share agreement between the podcaster, which is you, and the marketplace. Now, if you're just starting out, then our advice is to start small and focus on reaching out to local businesses. Then just build on that. Another way you can make money with your podcast is through affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a way to make money selling other products and services. You get a commission on anyone who signs up for a service or product under your unique link. There are a lot of companies out there that offer affiliate programs. We at Spreaker have our own affiliate program where you can earn a 20% commission for every new referral. That means that if you love Spreaker and invite your friends to use it as their podcasting platform, then you can start monetizing on those recommendations. But even if you don't use Spreaker, all you need to do is to think about the products and service that you use for your podcast or business. Check if they have an affiliate program and sign up. It's as easy as that. Note that I specifically said product or service that you personally use. You want to make sure you're signing up to promote a product or service you have extensive knowledge about or you've used yourself. People buy from people who speak from experience, so you wouldn't want to diminish your credibility by promoting something you've never tried or you don't believe in. Another thing you can do is offer premium content. Premium podcast subscriptions refer to podcast content you sell on a recurring basis. Listeners subscribe to your service and receive special content that's only available to paying customers. They might receive special episodes or access to groups, other forms of content, or just access to you. There are many different types of premium content that you can offer, some of which include early access, bonus episodes, a premium Facebook group, live chats where listeners can ask you questions, a paid newsletter subscription, or even downloadable resources. Whatever option you end up choosing, remember that premium podcast subscriptions are powerful tools to drive revenue with your podcast. And now, last but not least, if you want to make money off your favorite podcast, you can always sell merchandise. Merchandise is an excellent way to monetize your podcast and promote your brand at the same time. And nowadays, there are a lot of print-on-demand companies out there that let you add your own designs, logos, or artwork to a large variety of their products. They even handle shipping and sales for you. How cool is that? Now that we've covered how you can make money with your podcast, let's look at that number one mistake podcasters make when monetizing their content. You should never use your listeners to make money. Instead, develop authentic relationships with your listeners and use those relationships to make money. There's a distinction there. People know when you are being inauthentic. Don't alienate your listeners' ability to feel like they're participating in the podcast experience by not respecting them. It needs to be a symbiotic relationship and cannot work if it's just one-sided. In the end, it's all about your listeners. So make sure that you take them into account when you're looking for ways to make money off of your podcast. And that's it. If you love this video and you want to see more, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to be notified when we share a new video. And if you have any questions, please comment below and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Until next time, happy podcasting.